Okay. Hi, my name is Claire.
Sorry, I didn't even cut off your Zepbound story.
It's quite all right. I'll tell some more Zepbound stories.
Caesar's just saying a lot of like the ads for Zepbound, which I don't get Zepbound ads.
Yeah.
I do get generalized GLP-1 ads, but they're all like my Zepbound story.
No, it's every time I open Instagram, I get an ad that says "Tell your Zepbound story." Like submit. It's like submit your misconnection. Like submit your Zepbound story for consideration.
So like we had not yet unpacked that as like context yet. And Caesar was just like telling a story and she hadn't taken a breath in like 3 minutes and she goes, "Oh yeah, in my Zepbound story, I've become a twink." We were all like, oh.
And you know, this was like 10 minutes ago and I don't remember the context.
Yeah, I'll tell you my Zepbound story, become a twink.
That's another thing I'm going to start saying. This is my Zepbound story. But it's just a regular story.
And it is in that you reject Zepbound.
I am rejecting.
The omission of Zepbound in your
Should I
Zepbound
submit
story.
That? my Zepbound story is go to hell. Gotcha.
Totally, yeah, that's really good. The marketing team's gonna love
They're
that.
gonna at least get a laugh.
Totally.
You know?
And isn't it good to laugh?
It's so good to laugh after a long day.
When you're a marketer,
I don't laugh enough.
it's
behind
good
those keys.
to laugh. Yeah.
Sorry. My name is Claire.
And I'm Molly.
And this is
Book
Stupid. This is our Zepbound story.
Totally. So we're not being held hostage.
Oh, yeah.
If you were wondering.
Good point. We're not being held hostage. We are in the new Goop studio.
Yeah.
Goop studio? Goop studio?
It's pronounced Goop, but spelled with a J.
Joop with a J. And our studio hostess has moved. And us, like her Russian dolls with her. We also moved.
Like, are we in each other?
Oh, I meant more like we're like pieces in her house that moved too.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry, that was a really
Best
bad.
Friend's Cottage side.
Yes.
See, just a dollhouse.
Yes, more like dollhouse vibes. Yeah, I do have a dollhouse.
But it's not dolls, it's the critters.
It's critters, but it's a real dollhouse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a wooden open floor plan doll.
It was a wedding gift she got for my wedding.
More of that. More guests getting gifts after other people's weddings.
From the mother of the bride. Here's a dollhouse as a wedding gift.
I think we need to tell the full story about. Have we not told the story of Best Friend's Cottage?
I don't think so.
Okay. During Molly's wedding weekend, you have this antique store in your.
Yeah.
It's an antique store in your hometown that's like you could just spend days in there just pilfering through the goods.
I've never been in.
You've never. Every time I've been to your hometown, I've been to the antique store. How is that possible? So on Aaron and I stayed way too long for the wedding because we were like, we like Molly's parents, so we're just gonna kind of hang out and be a burden, if that's okay. And one day the two of us went to, on the last day we were there, we went to the antique store. We were literally there for 3 hours. I didn't talk to her for 3 hours. We were both just in things. And I took a picture of this wooden dollhouse that was almost if you took a dollhouse and cut it in half. So all the rooms were open facing, if that makes sense.
Open face sandwich.
Yeah, open face sandwich. And I posted it as part of my weekend roundup for the wedding because I liked the idea of me, Molly, and Mittens living in that cottage one day. Oh, it also had painted on the front Best Friend's Cottage.
I love it.
So I put that in my carousel, and then your mom texted us 3 weeks later or 2 weeks after the wedding and was like, Siege is getting a package. And Molly must be there when she unwraps it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she kept texting like a serial killer. I thought she'd sent us a severed head.
And really, I should have, I feel seen where this was going, but somehow I didn't. And so then you came over. It was also, I had something happen. Oh, I had gotten laid off that day.
Yeah, it was a
Right?
crazy day. Yes.
I think I had gotten laid off, and I we got back, and I opened, and it was Best Friend's Cottage, but they had also, the people at the antique store had filled it with those Sylvanian dolls. So it also came with 50 small critters.
50. For real.
And clothes to put on.
bride and groom, babies.
It did have bride and groom, and then we put the bride in the window to look out for a while, because then I was laid off, so I fell into like a deep depression, and so for a while, Best Friend's Cottage was just like out.
So it's like you get laid off, you're depressed, and you have a dollhouse.
You're home all the time, and you're always home with the with your cottage, with the Sylvanian dolls. And then I think once I got a job, I put the Best Friend's Cottage up in my like vertical storage in my living room, and it has like it's like 2 doors, and then the house is behind it. And one day when I make a lot of money, I want to install a remote where I can just have the doors open and Best Friend's Cottage is there.
I love
Isn't that awesome?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You never told me of your plans.
Also, at the time, I really wanted to like print out pictures of all my friends and and tape them on the Sylvanian dolls. I mean, you were like, no, and I was like, okay.
Could a depressed person make this?
Hits remote.
Honestly, that would have been kind of a fun like engineering project for you.
I think at the time, I think people would have been really worried. But so that's the story of Best Friend's Cottage. And one day when I have a big old house,
modeled exactly after,
it's cut in half like Best Friend's Cottage. Best Friend's Cottage will have its own little pop out.
Totally, that's really good. Mm-hmm. Might I even like brainstorm with you like a cuckoo clock?
That's
on the hour it pops out.
Cuckoo indeed. Very cuckoo. I love it.
It could be good.
That's really good.
Will you often kind of reconfigure the scenes for the Sylvanians inside?
I think maybe seasonally. So like Q4 will be huge. We'll do like Halloween.
Yeah.
Maybe I foresee it on Halloween popping out candy. Candy hits the room.
Totally.
Right?
I'm really liking that. Yeah.
And then for Christmas, we'll do like lights, and a song. But the song's different every hour. Or it's Christmas shoes every hour.
And it's coming from the Sylvanians, and you can only hear it if you believe. So
jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Shh, shh. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Shimmy, shimmy, sugar.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's that.
Yeah, and then, honestly, I'm loving St. Patrick's Day this year, so I think we talked about that in the last episode.
But that could be another...
Yeah, it's another holiday.
We saw my parents recently.
We did. Let's talk about it. I had the best time. That was the best weekend of my life.
It was really fun.
I kept saying this is the best day of my life. Each day that passed in Florida, I was like, this day's better than the last day.
Yeah, we were like dogs having our last weekend. It
totally.
felt really special.
In
Florida.
We went to Fort Myers, if we can say that.
Sure, that works for
Okay,
me.
cool. What did we do? The first night I got in an hour before you did, and I covered about 1 billion topics with
Literally.
your parents.
I kept trying to like start a conversation, and you guys would be like, we already talked about that.
We talked about it during happy hour when you're in the air.
Yeah. You guys all had large steins of chilled beer. Like what?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was awesome.
And then we did rum on the beach Friday.
That was
the best day. That was for real
the
best
day.
Yeah.
It was just a gorgeous beach, aptly named Bonita, I believe.
Bonita. I keep telling people it was Barefoot Beach, but that wasn't right.
I think that was the stretch of beach
You're right.
around, but it was Bonita.
The Bonita of the barefoot.
Bonita barefoot.
Bonita. So true of me.
So true. And you even stepped on a bee with your Bonita barefoot.
Oh my God. I got my first bee sting in about a decade that was crazy.
And stupid heads, she didn't so much as shriek. She didn't make a peep.
I'm on way too much Lexapro. I literally stepped on the bee and I was like, I've stepped on a bee.
You were the most reasonable. You were so youngest child in that moment.
Yeah, I was like,
I don't want to put you guys out. I've stepped on a bee. I'll limp.
I'll catch up with you. I'm just going to sort of put my foot in the water for 10 minutes. We were on a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll be honest, that bee sting really stayed with me for a calendar 5 to 7 days.
Oh,
every night I was waking up itching the hell out of my foot.
Ouch.
Yeah. And I was worried that I don't know. I was worried it was more than what I thought it was.
You saw the bee though.
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Which she made sure to say. She's like, I did see the bee. It's a real bee sting. We were like, we believe.
that's also so youngest. Like, the bee was real. I'm not making it up. I'm not. It's real.
It's real. Yeah.
So yeah, it was really itchy for like 5 days, and then I was like, will it ever stop itching? But then it did.
But then
Huge news.
a happy ending
Happy
to that
ending.
story. Yeah.
Um,
I found a shell that I strung on one of my necklaces, and it was just kind of like, am I one with the sea, the land, the sky?
she became like Kendra Scott.
I started a business.
And it was like beautiful. I feel like people kept being like, amazing shell, Molly, because she was wearing like a mermaid's pendant. Like if you like sung to it, she'd like turn into a mermaid.
Totally.
It was beautiful. And then the woman at the, what did she say to you?
Well, so we went to the cherry on top
Yeah.
of our weekend was spring training.
Yeah.
We saw the Phillies.
Which was huge for me. I could literally spit on the head coach.
You were
I could,
so fucking close.
We were all so close.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Like at one point we were like 2 rows away because we kept taking these family seats in the front. So we were so close. And let's. What were we talking about?
Oh, well, when Siege and I went on a hot dog run, the woman manning the dogs kind of looked at my shell necklace. She goes, oh, that's gorgeous. I have many shell pieces. I don't wear them here. It's not a safe place to wear your shell pieces.
We are at like the most like tame family event.
She's
in
like,
Florida.
shell jewels get
She's
stolen
like,
here.
keep an eye on that.
And like, by far the least valuable piece of jewelry on my
it was
body.
on like a gorgeous golden necklace, but like, yeah, the shell itself was worth nothing. But
everything.
Joy.
It was magic, and
It was
she knew
magic,
because
yeah.
she's also a merwoman.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure her
She didn't
skin was
want-
made of leather.
She didn't want people to steal your magic. Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
It wasn't really about the
Yeah, that's right.
the jewelry.
Yeah. We met Muscles.
We met Muscles. Oh my god, I almost forgot about Muscles. So I guess we were at the Minnesota Twins training facility, and so they have all the different like minor league teams, and one of the minor league teams for the Minnesota Twins is the Muscles.
The Fort Myers Muscles.
The Fort Myers Muscles.
Yeah.
And he looks like a booger.
Totally.
In illustration form, he looks like a booger.
Yeah.
And then they
Kind of like Geodude Booger.
Geodude, that you were describing him like Geodude, yeah.
Because he has big biceps, yeah.
He just looks like you could fling him like a booger, though. Yeah. And he's the color of a booger. Because he's the meat of a muscle.
The inside
which
of a
is
muscle.
disgusting.
Disgusting.
But then he also has muscles because
It's a double entendre.
it's a double entendre, exactly. My God. But him in mascot form was also there.
Yeah.
And your brother had really like a romantic moment with him.
They fist bumped.
They fist bumped, but it was so like game
They saw each
recognized
other.
game.
Totally.
It was just real casual.
Like me and the Shell Lady and
totally.
Jack and Muscles.
Yeah, just
The connections were being made left and right.
left and right.
Do you feel you connected with any Phillies?
I was trying to make like intense eye contact whenever they would turn around. I would be like. Meanwhile, I've like never looked worse.
You looked great.
Like
Your
so sweaty.
sunburn was
Sunburn was. I had like zebra stripes because like for some reason like.
And I see how uniformly you apply sunscreen. It's not user error.
I don't know. I got so much leg surface area that legs are always tough for me.
She's got gams.
I got gams and like I don't know. If the problem is I can't miss a single square inch
No, you can't.
because I'll die.
Yeah.
But yeah. And what else? Any other highlights? Oh, goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
Goat yoga.
My mom got kicked in the head by a goat.
She kind of got beat up by a goat.
But the good thing is she didn't scream. Kidding. She shrieked.
We got to tell the first scream story.
Yeah.
As we were trying to park for the beach on day one, it was like such a struggle to park. Like we went to the first parking lot and it was like tough, and then we went to the second parking lot that this other lady told us about, and then it was like once you found a spot you had to kind of like, this is my spot, like,
It was, yeah.
but then we got boxed in by like a truck behind us and like 3 people coming in the other way, so your dad had to do like an KXZ turn.
Totally.
It was like boop, 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 boop.
And he just had to confidently,
Yeah.
occupy space.
Yes.
And my mom didn't want that.
Space and time,
Yeah.
really. And we like didn't even almost hit the truck behind us, but it was like close for comfort. And someone honked, I think. And she goes, ah!
All the windows are down.
But it was just such a funny scream.
Yeah, she screams.
Yeah, so that set the stage, and then the second scream was, I go
Getting kicked in the head by
kicked in the head by Go Yoga.
We'd been warned, like, hey, when you're in like a tabletop position, goats will jump on your back. And they made it seem like it'd be more organic than it was. It's a trainer coming around like, here, show pony, up.
I keep telling people, they were like, yep. And everyone got like 3 seconds and a photo with the goat on your back.
And the goat is just a laborer. There's no joy.
He's doing it for cookies. The goat is in it for the cookies.
Yeah, and they're 2 jumpers. One's a small baby guy.
Yeah.
He's maybe 30 pounds. The other guy's 60 pounds.
60 pounds.
So when those 4 hooves land on your back,
With
you
a
feel
thud.
it.
Yeah. I was like, my back can't take that. But it was like kind of awesome when you could.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, I can hold a 60-pound goat on my back for 5 seconds.
The only one who couldn't was my mom.
That was because he beat her up.
And she was the first. So they just kind of toppled together, and the goat.
I didn't even see it. I just like saw like the collapse and then like the oh yeah.
And at one point we went with our friend Kathy.
Yeah.
Who at one point was in downward dog, so didn't see the approach of some goats who were again being baited by cookies.
Yeah.
These goats aren't doing anything for the love of the game.
They don't do anything for free.
And might we all take that lesson?
Yeah. That's their Zepbound story. They don't do anything for free.
But their Zepbound story is also cookies.
Cookies. They also stand against Zepbound.
Thank you, goats.
Yeah.
But the lady who was kind of puppet mastering the goats threw a shit ton of cookies on Kathy's mat while she was in downward dog. And the goats just immediately swarmed.
Yeah.
And Kathy didn't see that coming. So she just goes, Jesus Christ.
Which is so fair, because that's kind of how it feels the whole time. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
There's pee and poop. People keep asking me that. Like, oh, was it like do they do anything crazy? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, they pee and poop all over.
And when they pee, they're going to poop.
They're going to poop.
So
saddle up.
Get scared.
Did I tell you I sent the picture of me with the goat on my back to my family, and I said, like, please show this to my nephew, because I knew he'd love it.
Yeah.
And my mom, they called me when I was at the airport. They called me, and my mom was like, he just threw his head back and cackled. He thought it was so funny. And then the first thing he asked me was, how's the goat on your back?
That's so cute.
I know. It was really cute.
Goat on your back.
He thought it was so funny.
Of course he did, because it is.
I know.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that the Phillies did.
They lost.
Lost to the Twins, and then you lost to the Twins.
And then I lost to the Twins. I spent the evening in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Because I missed my layover to San Francisco.
No fault of hers.
No. Fault of Delta, which was really nice because they really put me up.
Yeah.
In the Blue Radisson of Minneapolis. I basically stayed in the Mall of America for 8 hours.
Awesome.
And I got a meal voucher. I got 2, actually.
Cool.
And what else did I get? Oh, I got to sleep under a portrait of the Minnesota Twins stadium, too, which was cool.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Did you go on any rides at Mall of America?
Are there rides?
Oh, yeah.
The mall wasn't open when I was there. They kept being like, the mall opens at 10 tomorrow. And I was like, I will be in the air, God willing.
God willing.
But thank you.
That's nice.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about where you went?
Well, when you flew from Florida to San Francisco, I flew from Florida to London.
London boy.
London boy. Yeah, I was there for a week. Just a week.
Yeah.
Because Mittens met me on the other side, which was quite nice.
Very romantic.
Yeah, hung out with Kira and one of our dear friends from college.
Because for her, it's a hop and a skip because she lives in Ireland.
That's right. Covered in our Irish episode.
Oh, true. We did,
we name dropped her, yeah.
Okay, good.
It was just lovely. So here's what I think about London.
Yeah, tell us.
It is probably one of 3 cities I could live in.
Okay, you scare me when you say things.
I
like
know.
that you're just gonna
4
up and
cities.
leave.
4 cities I could live in.
Allow me to name them.
Yeah.
New York City,
One and only.
Chicago,
Yeah.
London. Now I'm told
Yes.
this just in London,
Yeah.
and then Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So the 3 biggest cities in the U.S.
We've done this before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
London.
other biggest city in the world.
in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I really like the tube.
The chip.
I love the tube.
Of course.
And I love the bus.
Oh,
Double
you
decky.
do?
Yeah,
Because you don't take the bus here.
reliable.
You don't
The bus
take
is
Mom
like-
Donnie's bus.
Okay, I saw a tweet yesterday that was like, New York City bus is good if you want to be an hour early or miss your meeting altogether.
That's kind of true, but I have certain lines that I really trust. The crosstown buses are great.
Yes, I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Sorry. Tell me more about the tube and the double deckers.
No, like I think that's part of why I can see myself
Okay.
there. I need good public
Accessible,
transport everywhere. And I stayed in South Ken.
Kent or Ken?
Ken. So it's South Kensington, but I'm kind of local, so I say South Ken.
South Ken.
Oh, staying in South Ken. It's very posh.
It's posh. Okay.
Bordering on Chelsea.
Tory.
Chelsea, maybe you're familiar with Tory. You bitch.
It's very close to. What did you
Like
say, Chelsea?
Chelsea,
Okay.
which
I
you-
don't know London at all. I've never been there. Isn't that crazy?
It's west.
I know. Oh.
And I don't know if this. I know.
I thought you were saying it's weird, and I was like, it is weird. I haven't been there.
It is weird you haven't been there.
No. Okay. It's west. Sorry.
South Ken is west.
Okay.
And it was near to where I had to be for work. Funny enough, it's where Minton studied abroad. He lived in South Ken, very posh for a college kid. It's where our college, Fordham, had their campus.
Go Rams.
Yeah. And they always went to this pub called Cumberland Arms.
Cumbie Arms.
Yeah, and it was right next to where I was working for most of the week. It was
nice.
just, I felt like I was like trotting his path.
That's kind of beautiful.
Yeah. But my offices were on the east side of London, so I spent a good deal of time there.
Okay.
I kind of think of the split as like West London is like uptown,
Okay.
and then East London is like downtown.
Got it. Cool.
I don't know if that's like actually a binary that holds, but
Well, we'll find
it's
out.
what I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
East is cool. West is
East is
not.
cool, kind of
Okay.
sceney, a little bit more art, a little bit more grit,
Got it. Okay.
and then West is it gets posh.
Hey, where's Soho? You don't know Ho?
I think it's West.
Okay. That feels like a.
I think you get there on the Piccadilly line. Take the
I would
Piccadilly.
actually guess that it's East.
Do you think so?
I think Soho's cool, isn't it?
You think you're better than me?
I don't know London at all, as we've covered.
Chips is looking it up. Shoreditch is east and Shoreditch is quite cool. Islington.
Islington.
Mittens was there for work too, and his office, when I looked at his location, was just like in the Thames.
In the River Thames?
Yeah.
Oh my
Thames.
god.
I was so bizarre. I was like, do you work on a boat?
Are you lying to me? Are you a fisherman?
You gotta tell
Are you
me.
here for a fish trip?
Yeah, he was there for fishing. And then maybe the... You got it?
It's east of Kensington and Chelsea, but it's like really central London.
It's really central. We're both right.
Got it. Okay, it's really central. We're both right.
That's Soho. Oh, and then I promised Hector I'd bring him back something because he's
Of course.
an English bulldog. But then we realized he's not. He's an Irish
spiritually
bulldog.
Irish. Yeah.
He's red. His parents are Irish.
I love it.
And so we're ready to just kind of like disavow that heritage for him.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's Irish.
He's an Irish bulldog.
It makes sense because he's so like contrarian and difficult.
Totally. Principled, but
Principled, sorry. Principled.
but difficult.
but difficult.
Yeah.
That's
all I got.
But always on the right side of history.
Yeah.
Also.
Irish
yeah.
bulldog.
Kind
of beat.
of bean.
Bad teeth.
Yeah. What else is Irish? Sad.
Sad.
Spiritually depressed.
Right.
Let's talk about what we've been consuming. Awesome.
Cool. You first.
Okay. I have spent a lot of time on planes, airplanes, planes in the air, which means I watched a lot of movies. Would you like to hear about the movies I watched?
Duh.
Okay. Well, one I told you about when we were falling asleep. In Florida, Molly was like, my tummy hurts, and I was like, let me tell you about the story of Sleepless in Seattle. So I won't relive that, except to say that that has always historically, of that like era of movies, listeners will know 2 of my favorite romance movies are When Harry Met Sally and You've Got Mail, but I always leave Sleepless in Seattle out of the conversation because it just has never hit for me the way that I want it to, because I find I don't remember anyone's name, but I find that Meg Ryan's character in Sleepless in Seattle to be very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
But I kind of had a more positive view of it this time because I like the idea. Like, I still think she's a very one-dimensional character, and I don't. Annie, thank you. I don't like. It's no fault of Annie Reid's, but I just.
It seems like she wants to wear the dead mom's skin.
Molly listened to my story. Yeah, it's like her whole purpose as a character is to like fill this role of this dead woman, which I don't like. It feels very 80s,
Thank
90s.
God they're both size 2.
Exactly.
That's her Zepbound story.
That's her Zepbound story.
I could fit into my widowed husband's
mom jeans. But I will say I had a slightly different view of it this time, which is kind of lovely. Like, I still think the story is kind of stupid, but I love the idea of like leaving a perfectly fine relationship. And I think what I also don't like about it is you're kind of like, I don't get the connection between her and Tom Hanks in this. They don't interact barely. They interact barely at all in the movie. So you're kind of like, how could she bet on something like this? And again, I still find that premise kind of flimsy, but I also really like the idea that like of leaving a perfectly average relationship for the hope of something different,
something great,
something better and greater, because you feel like there's something is missing. So that was kind of touching me in the air.
I love that. Yeah.
And then
it's a story about courage.
It's a story about courage and betting on yourself and betting on better love, which I find kind of inspiring in this 2026.
Okay, you're stirring me.
I know. And it's also just like it's a fun movie. Who can we
I love Meg.
Love Meg Ryan. Rob Reiner's in it. Like, can't even talk about it.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell, at her prime, maybe. Tom Hanks' wife plays one of his best friends, Rita Wilson. Thank you. I'll say her name. She's not just a woman filling a dead woman's shoes, pants.
Is she the dead woman?
No.
Oh,
she's one of her Tom Hanks' best friends
in
the movie. And it's also just like beautiful. Anyway, that's all I have to say on Sleepless in Seattle.
I do know the houseboat of it all.
The houseboat of it all.
Really
And
cool.
it starts in Chicago, famously one of the cities we could ever live in.
Totally.
It's also on my list.
Yeah.
And then Seattle, and then randomly Baltimore.
Interesting.
I know.
I don't know that I remember the Baltimore aspect.
That's just where she's from.
Cool.
It's not that important. And New York, too. There's a bit of New York at the end. Do you want me to rip through all my movies? Because I kind of want to do that. I want to leave space for you.
No, do it.
On my next flight, I watched Fever Pitch.
Crazy.
I agree. It was crazy.
No, Drew Barrymore.
No, Drew Barrymore and a wee-wah Jimmy Fallon. That's him the entire movie. It's like, give it a rest.
Like,
give it a rest.
Your Zepbound story should be
to shut the hell up.
It's Summer Catch is hers.
Summer Catch. That's
crazy.
There's another. See, this is the only baseball romance I have ever been aware of is Fever Pitch.
Same.
Summer Catch is baseball. It's Jessica Biel and Freddie Prinze Jr.
Okay, I'm adding Summer Catch to my list.
Okay.
And all I've ever heard about Fever Pitch is that it's really bad.
Yeah.
So I went into it like, this is just something, like, because sometimes plain movies are like, you gotta get this off the list. You know what I mean?
Completely. That's a great time to watch Fever Pitch.
Totally. And we're also doing that in my next one. Taking something off the list.
Are you having plain wine? Will you do this?
Am I having plain wine?
Wine.
I'm
you
trying to
watch
think.
these
I
films?
had like a beer. Well, I'd had baseball beers and then airport beer, and then I was watching Fever Pitch.
Okay, perfect. That's actually perfect.
Yeah, it was.
That's the recipe.
I'd had a hot dog and baseball beers, and then I had chicken fingers and airport beer.
Perfect.
And then I was having Biscoff cookies.
Yeah.
And Fever Pitch.
Totally.
Horrible film. I hated it tip to tail. I did think it was a really accurate portrayal of an insane baseball fan. Unfortunate that had to be portrayed by the most annoying man alive.
I never want to see him ever.
No. I also did think it was hilarious. Like, the whole premise is like only an insane workaholic could date a baseball fan, because those are the only people whose schedules would ever align. Or like passion, like interests. It's like he's like, I don't know, like this is gonna be really hard because I'm a season ticket holder to the Red Sox. And she's like, it's fine, I'm trying to get promoted.
And that is treated like equally legitimate pursuits.
Yeah, and he's like, that's awesome, thank God. Meanwhile, he like has a full-time job too.
Like, what the fuck? Women have to work 5 times as hard.
And still she's going to half the baseball games because this guy's like, come to the Red Sox with me.
On.
You're a bad girlfriend if you
don't be a bore.
Don't be a bore who only wants to get promoted. And then she gets fucking bonked in the head by a baseball.
Totally.
Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, but
okay.
The bonk is because I'm like, is that 50 First Dates? Or
it happens.
She
in
gets
both.
bonked.
I think
She gets bonked a lot.
she gets hit in the head.
Does she
with
ever speak Italian?
No, that would have made it interesting. I would have been like, okay, a twist I didn't see coming. She gets bonked in the head, and then she's like, I'm done going to baseball games. And it's like,
is that how it ends? I hope.
No. It ends with him threatening to sell his season tickets, and then she storms the field to be like, don't sell your season tickets. It's your one true love.
What does he do
besides
for
me.
her?
That's a great question. Not much. He's kind of like, I'll try to be less addicted to baseball, but I can't make any promises.
God.
He will. So it's kind of like the gift when you cut your hair. He's like, I'm gonna sell the tickets. Like, I'm gonna give up my one true passion. This thing that apparently costs $100,000 because they were seats that he inherited from his uncle.
Okay.
He's like, I'm gonna sell them, and then she's like, no, I'll cut my hair off.
Yeah.
You keep the tickets.
I'll give up the promotion.
She got the promotion. Don't worry.
Okay.
But she
it's
did
been
leave
0
for promotion.
days since BookStupid talked about the gift.
It all comes back to the gift.
Totally. It's one of my favorite motifs.
Then I watched for the first time ever. This is again movies just ticking off your list. This was actually a good one. The Social Network.
I cannot believe you've never
I
seen
know.
that before. That is
I
one of my
know.
favorite movies of all time.
It was really good.
What the fuck is
Yeah.
your deal, huh?
It's again one of those. It's like, to me, it's a movie for boys, so I just put it off.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
Brenda Song.
She was incredible.
Incredible.
She was a highlight
Dakota
for the-
Johnson's butt.
What?
She's the girl who gets out of Justin Timberlake's bed in the Stanford
Oh, yes,
underwear.
yes,
That's
yes, yes.
Dakota Johnson. That's one of her first
Wait.
appearances on screen ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. I liked that a lot. Just an awesome movie. I really.
I hate to say Justin Timberlake's acting in that really
Really
works for me.
good.
He's
Yeah.
playing himself.
Yeah, because he's such a jackass.
Yeah,
You're like,
totally.
I mean, they all are. I really love the lens of the manosphere in such an early film.
Right.
An early film to discuss the manosphere.
I should say also, Suja and I have been discussing the manosphere a lot lately.
Great, like we know all of the subcommittees. We're on to you.
One of the subcommittees we kind of like really
We kind of like this one.
resonated with was men going their own way.
Because, yeah. You know what? Sure, fine.
Sure.
You go.
As long as you're not coming my way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really,
You loved.
I loved it. I did find, I was like, you know how me on planes, I'm always falling asleep. So I had to kind of like
Sure.
a couple times during the movie, be like, Claire,
Crazy.
come on.
Oh
But
my God, when Andrew Garfield comes back, but not for a percentage, he's coming back for everything.
Oh.
When he
Did that not clock to me?
he's dialed in, whatever the fuck, like Justin Timberlake is trying
Yeah.
to intercept for Jesse Eisenberg, and Andrew
Garfield?
Andrew Garfield is storming because he's just learned that he got fucked out of all of his equity.
Yeah.
And he's coming in. He's dialed in, or like locked in, whatever. And he rips the cord out and he's like, fuck you. It's so good. It's one of
Oh.
the best monologues in film.
Why is it not? But he was great and so cute.
So freaking cute. It's such a good movie.
I remember now when he comes into the office.
Yeah, and he like smashes a keyboard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I was.
No,
Yeah.
because I didn't do a good job acting.
No, you did a great job. You
It's
were
okay.
great.
Thanks.
No really like notes on that besides I loved it and like so
Excellent.
glad to tick that off my list.
Yeah.
And then
perfect film.
Perfect film. And then the last thing I watched was One Battle After Another on my flight home from San Francisco. And what I have to say about that is fuck that movie. That was a watch because I started hearing rumblings that was going to win Best Picture. So I was like, okay, I do need to. And I didn't see any. I will say I formed my commentary outside of the commentary.
You knew next to nothing.
I knew next to nothing besides that it was a Paul Thomas Anderson movie featuring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
And I did not like it. Talk about a movie for boys.
Okay.
Movie for boys and idiots. I'm sorry. I did not like it. I thought it was laced with misogyny, and you get smacked with it by that misogyny in the first 20 minutes, and I really couldn't recover from that.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the beginning, I think I told you this already, where Teyana Taylor's character is making Sean Penn get himself hard while she's pointing a gun at him, and I was just I get that this is supposed to be satire, I guess, but I just don't. This is not resonating for me as a woman.
Yeah.
And you've lost me.
You're subverting how women and men are.
Yeah.
Kind of. I haven't seen
I think
it.
that's the aim, I guess. Or I really don't know. I think my problem with the scene was it felt frivolous without intent, which I guess is what frivolous means.
No.
But I was this just feels I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. And I couldn't get past, not to be I don't think I'm being prudish, because I just think it felt very man.
Just kind of gratuitous.
Gratuitous, yeah. And I also found the whole idea of revolution is kind of making fun of the idea of revolution and resistance, which I totally get it. We're all exhausted by resisting fascism, but it's not really fun or interesting or compelling coming from a white man, in my opinion.
It's also functional. It's really frustrating to have it reduced to performance when it is quite literally the only intervention that gets results.
Yeah. Sorry, I just had another thought. Did I think it was an interesting and fun movie to watch? Yes. Do I think it's a Best Picture? Do I think it had any? Did I think it had any compelling message beyond being a fun watch? No.
And that's a damning critique, I believe.
I just don't think that's a Best Picture, in my opinion.
Well, I think with the themes it deals with, people are inclined to read kind of
yes,
meaning
exactly,
or moral into
and
it.
entitled to, because if you're going to make a movie about resisting, then you should have something interesting to say about it, I think.
Oh, I love that take.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't watch?
No, I think you should, to get angry. Or just tell me what you think.
We Aries don't need more reasons.
It's true, and it's our season almost.
Almost.
I know. We're on the
When
eve.
does it happen? Tomorrow?
I think the 20th, 21st. Yeah.
Boom!
Gotcha.
Well, I want to say something about Leo on the carpet.
Okay, and I'm done now. Those are my plane movies. Really? Yeah.
No more?
No more.
You've
That's
been
it.
on a plane so much
I know.
recently, though.
I know.
Mittens did 4 on his flight home from London.
That's crazy.
I am not exaggerating.
Did you guys do an extra lap?
Oh, the flight home is 8.5 hours.
What?
Can you believe?
In my head, that's a 6-hour flight both ways. My bad.
Yeah, well, different Gulf Streams, winds, I don't know.
True. Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is slower going that way, isn't it?
it's faster going there,
Yes.
slower coming home. Yeah.
So I was right.
You're right. You're a big right.
Yeah.
Okay, Leo, I just want to say everyone was talking about his mustache because he exercised the time-honored tradition of changing something about your hair when you have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on plastic surgery.
Yeah, he basically got bangs.
And everyone's like, he looks so good with his mustache. I was like, no, he looks so good because he got a facelift.
Yeah.
He got
And the
his head-
facelift eats.
Yeah. Oh, he looks great, but it's
Yeah.
because he got his head drained.
Yeah.
Okay. I use my plane time differently, but you know how I use it because
Yeah,
it's the same
reading
as I
spot.
always do.
Yeah.
Reading spot.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Mile High Club. Sorry.
I read 2 romantasies.
Okay, that's okay. Why are you so sad about it? You
Because
love
they're
romanticism.
really bad. Okay, I paid for one. It wasn't even Kindle Unlimited. Fucking egg on my face. Okay. Arcana Academy by Elise Kova.
Okay.
So this one I purchased, and my main things are like, there was a glossary at the end of the book with like about 30 pages of like rules and definitions. And it was like that. The whole
Okay.
time I'm reading, I'm like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, I don't want to keep flipping back. Did you do it every time? Were you
No. The premise of the fantasy in this one was tarot.
Oh.
And you can ink cards. It's like a skill. And then you can...
I love how every time you tell me the rules of a fantasy, you're like a little embarrassed. It's like, girl, I know what it is. It's fine.
So like the three things, you can like wield cards.
Okay.
You can ink cards.
Okay.
And you can read cards.
Okay.
Those are the three skills of the Arcanist.
Got it.
But beyond having a pretty complex, just kind of like magic system to this
Okay.
fantasy, they also, this is the first book of what I think is a planned series. The second book is meant to come out in like July or something.
Okay.
They also started layering on all this other shit. It's like, and also you're a major, and that's like a whole other thing. You're like this like special kind of Arcanist.
Okay.
And oh, by the way, inherited by your mother's line, you're a world keeper. And like, then one of the last reveals was kind of like, you were a former noble of Clan Tower. And it's like, okay, one girl's not that special. Oh, she's a princess too.
Oh my God.
She's intended to be married to the Dark Prince. So it's like...
Wait, so there's royalty on top of the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Royalty kind of propped up by the magic of it all.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
how they enforce
You
and
read it and write it into
maintain their
existence.
power.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm like, okay, I'm meant to believe our protagonist is like special 6 times over.
Oh, yeah.
Like unbelievably diamond unique.
And I'm sorry, women can't have it all.
Can. So that got like, I'm sorry, that was too much fantasy for me. And then like genuinely, I'm just still confused if they liked each other, she and her paramour.
Interesting.
Like they're kind of like,
Too mean to each other?
well, and it's like a forced marriage trope
Okay.
or like pretend marriage kind of. And no, yeah, they're just like mean and they can't really,
Yeah.
they never once say they love each other.
Never?
They fuck.
This woman is like, she's got like kinks she's weaving into this, I fear. One is
I
like
think.
knowledge, and one is I hate you.
And you know, it didn't even scratch that itch for me. I
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh, they're so competent. I was like, well, she can draw on cards.
You don't think art is a competency? A skill?
I'd like to move on to my next book.
Okay.
It's so bad.
Okay. The next one?
Direbound by Sable Sorensen.
Okay, here's the thing is I feel like part of the problem with your shame around fantasy is that I'm like mean about it, but then you say Sable Sorensen.
Pseudonym nom de plumes have gone way too far. Sable Sorensen.
That is so crazy.
Put your whole authority into it. Say your name.
Say your name, or at least don't you say make it like believable. Although,
Sable Sorensen.
is that kind of fun that they're like leaning into it or no?
Maybe, I don't know.
Me neither. Jury's still out.
Stop like asking me like I'm representative of my community. Okay, Direbound's crazy. You might get from like the title that it's about wolves.
I did not get that.
Like
I
a
don't
dire
know.
wolf.
See, I don't know enough about your
She's
community.
pissing me off, Joops.
I don't know
She
enough.
doesn't know about my community.
I didn't.
Water off a duck's back.
You're right. Joops is reminding me to turn the other cheek.
I don't know about your weird nerd shit. Sorry.
Okay, so like,
Claire, have an open mind.
Okay, I'm having an open mind.
can't even look at you.
Okay, it's wolf stuff.
It's wolf stuff, and I think I'm not quite sure actually. I think this was my first dark romance, which Gen Z's really into because they're
Yes.
scary. They're
It's kind
scary.
of. Isn't Colleen Hoover a dark romance?
I've never read her.
I've only read the one that's not. I don't think.
Okay. Well, so I'm genuinely not sure if this was.
Well, tell me about it.
So like the only kind of like
I'll
things-
decide. Sorry.
There's like allusion to past self-harm
Yes.
and light sexual enslavement. Grow up.
Wait, say more about grow up.
It's like the
You wanted more, or
no, I'm just like, is that dark?
Oh,
Like, yes, of course it is, but
I think. Okay, I see what you mean because like, if we're talking about like Deep End, which was when we both read a BDSM
Yeah.
novel about swimming and diving, we both were like, this isn't that.
Isn't that kinky?
Yeah, which like but that's not really dark romance because there's not like a history of like.
Right. Well, I guess her
Trauma.
dad's abusive, but
Oh,
like,
true.
So I don't know. Like I don't know where the line is. Like in this, the bonded are like they get the powers from the wolves, but they're still treated as like basically like they're still used and abused by royalty.
Okay.
And they present themselves for royalty to basically like take their pick and like start having sex with. And so I think that was maybe the other dark aspect.
So the light sexual enslavement.
Light
That's where we're getting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were expecting dark to be like hard to read.
Right, like abusive relationships.
And maybe that's on us.
Okay.
Maybe we have to re-examine our own understanding of what makes a dark romance dark.
Totally, yeah.
But I don't know.
No, right.
And I'm sure there are also levels to it that we haven't totally.
We should probably look into this
Should
at
we?
some point. Yeah.
Like, Book Stupid goes darker.
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 Yeah. So I don't like Direbound.
You didn't like it.
I didn't like it. Basically, it's one of those like gotchas at the
Okay.
end where like the whole time there's like this really hot, really mean wolf guy, and he's like serving. Like I'm like, yeah, be meaner. This is working for me. But our protagonist is actively engaged to the prince.
Okay.
Another prince.
Jeez.
Yeah, and the whole time you're like, something's up with this prince, dude.
Yeah.
He's not good. And the only spice you get is her and the prince.
Really?
But then there's just this tension with the wolf guy. But then, of course, at the end of the book, and it's really the final, like, oh, and this book was 550 pages.
Girl, what? And you read this on a flight?
2 flights.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive. I mean, it is a long flight, but still.
But yeah, why did I finish it? It's so long and still it's like the last like 10% of the book where things just go like freak show. It's like
That's where it got darker.
it goes carny.
Oh no.
It goes It's so fucking dumb.
Okay.
Like all these, it's like, and you're kind of reading because there are like a few mysteries being built up, and you're like, okay, maybe she'll land the plane. She didn't. The plane crashed.
Yeah.
Like at the end, the prince like goes like Joker smile and like head spins around. And it's like, yeah, he's like possessed, and I've been lying to you the whole time. And then the wolf guy, who's like the tension is hot because they got this like enmity and like are just like but they're competent.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
He, once all is revealed, she's like the true queen, and the prince was keeping her under false pretenses, so she never realized her own claim.
royalty.
Yes.
Wow.
So once she figures that out, the wolf guy's like, yes, and I've been sworn to protect your lineage. So he becomes like immediately servile and like a total reversal of their dynamic. And immediately I'm like, you're not hot.
Oh, I hate that. And I think that if that happens, like I'm actually okay with that, like that switcheroo there at the end, but then it's like she should be pissed. Was she pissed?
No, she was like, thank you.
Fucking
And he changes it up. He's not himself anymore.
Yeah.
He used to be like honest and gruff and mean to her, and now he's like, my queen, my liege.
So
Ew.
do we think they're not gonna?
No, I think they will. I just don't trust this author to give me my jollies.
Yeah, no, you're not getting your jollies.
So.
This is reminding me, you really should read ACOTAR just for your like education. And
Why haven't it?
I don't know. It's
she's
weird.
resisting.
Yeah.
No, but it's reminding me of the first book. You're kind of like, that's why people are always like, you have to get to the second book because there's no tension with the real lover in the first one, but you're like, there's a lot of sex between her and
the wrong guy.
and Tamlin. What? Oh, spoil. If you haven't read ACOTAR, nah, that's on you.
That's on you. It's on me.
But then, like in the second book, it gets to me more interesting with the love dynamic because there's a new character enters the villa who is way more compelling. I'm right about that, right?
I'm not saying anything. I won't spoil it.
Okay.
You are.
Our producer is refusing to give notes.
She's really mad at me for spoiling ACOTAR. She'll
I'll
be
still
fine.
eat it up.
The first one I think it's okay to spoil the first ACOTAR book because it's not good.
Okay.
It's fine.
Clearly, I'll eat shit and I'll say thank you.
The second one, but you have to read the first one to get the context for the second one and the rest of the series. And then it gets I mean, I've said this at length. The most recent book is the best one, in my opinion.
No, 6 and 7.
Yes, coming out soon.
Yeah.
In this year, right? Fall.
6 is October, 7 is like January.
So you could prepare for that. Just a thought. Anything else you want to? Okay. Sorry, we're being a rapid fire tonight because it's book club night. This is the pre-book club show.
And not because we're being held hostage again.
We're going quickly because it's book club. It's okay. Now we're gonna talk about
Tender hooks.
these chairs are really hard to sit in for a long time. We're now gonna talk about the event, the most recent writing event. You're so close to me. Are you trying to kiss?
Thong hanging out.
We're gonna now talk about going to a Ripped Modest event. Do you have the name of it? No, it's fine. It's
Writing for Desire or something like
Writing
that.
Desire.
Writing Desire.
Okay, so we went to an event we think that was called Writing Desire.
But we didn't go anywhere.
we didn't go anywhere because it was right after a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Blizzard, right?
A bomb cyclone.
It was right
I
after
assume.
our most recent bomb cyclone. And it ended up being on Zoom.
It was a big blizz. But
Your posture is killing me right now. Okay.
hang on.
No.
No, you. No, you.
No, you.
So we had intended to go to the Robotis, and this was it was structured like a collaborative writing class. Like, think if you took a creative writing class, like
In
we
college,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, there were prompts, time to write, and then moments to share and discuss.
Yeah.
But it was all facilitated over Zoom.
And so that was really hard, to be honest. I think there were, 6 to 8 of us? No, there was 4 to 5 of us.
Well, it's unclear how many were human, too. I'll say that.
So it was the 2 of us and then another girl. And then what was the name of our friend?
At least 2 other girls. Umberto.
Umberto. Also, I was off camera the entire time. Off
So
camera.
everyone was, except for the instructor.
Who, bless her soul, she was great.
Camera on, mic on the whole time. She was not backing down.
And I'll be honest, it was a really tough room.
No one came on camera. And CJ and I were doing it from our respective apartments, but obviously colluding the whole time. We're texting. But nobody came on camera. Nobody turned on their mic. She'd ask questions to dead air.
She kept asking people to read poems aloud, and every time no one would volunteer, and she'd end up reading the poem. But every time she was like, "I'm waiting for someone to read the poem,"
and she'd give it an honest go.
And I'm not making fun of her. I'm honestly trying to give her flowers.
She was very. I found her great.
Yeah.
She was really self-possessed too, in a dynamic where I would have crumbled.
Yeah. And she brought really good readings to the seminar.
Yeah.
And I also think I didn't realize it was a poetry writing class, which is not my medium.
Neither did Umberto.
Yeah, and Umberto was pissed about it the whole time. He kept being like, "Are we only reading poetry?" But Molly's quite good at poetry, and I think you have a taste for it. So
I like poetry.
Yeah, and I actually think you wrote one of the exercises was to write a love poem to your childhood celebrity crush. And Molly wrote hers, didn't share it, which wasn't very brave, but she did send it to me. That was hilarious and good.
It was about Legolas though.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Listen, I could not get over nobody, and she'd ask, and nobody's using their mic. They're just typing into the chat.
That's what I kept
if they do
being
anything. Yeah. Oh, and then early on, she asked for a poem read, and a girl comes on camera, reads a whole long poem, but her mic's not working. But the instructor doesn't want to disincentivize participation, so she pretends like she can hear her.
I thought I was having a stroke.
Nobody could hear her.
I was like, this must be my computer. And then I texted you and I was like, can you hear this girl? And you were like, absolutely the fuck not. I can't.
But the instructor was active listening, nodding.
She was totally. And it was girl, I don't know if you're hearing things only dogs can hear.
No,
but that's not happening.
She was playing us.
That's so crazy.
That was the beginning of my no return.
Yeah.
And so Siege and I are laughing harder than we've ever laughed at our respective desks in our respective apartments.
Yeah. But I gained I'm trying to think, what did I gain from it? I gained, like, we read some interesting poems about love and sex. She did play an odd song for us. I do have to talk about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you do.
I think this is one thing that she kind of missed on was what was the song called? It was just like, Sex in the Morning.
Sex in the Morning.
Not Morning Sex.
By Sonia.
By Sonia something. I implore you to look up Sex in the Morning.
By Sonia.
And by Sonia. And imagine that a young woman told you it's like one of her favorite songs. Like a woman who's younger than you told you that it's one of her favorite songs and that she listens to it all the time when
Try
she
doing
writes.
a bar or two of it, won't you?
Okay. Sex is good. Sex is crazy. Sex is morning breath. Sex is a dance. Sex is that was it.
That was it. That's like it's like Sonia's in the room.
It was her saying various things that sex is over like a jazzy beat.
Yeah.
And she was like, I listen to this all the time while I write. And I was like, okay, I actually am not sure if I'm being punked right now. Yeah. Really, you should look up Sex in the Morning.
Can't recommend enough. And then maybe to round out just like our account of how bizarre the entire exercise was.
Yes.
Umberto,
first of all, is like trolling the whole time, being like, still poetry, huh? In the chat. I'm like,
and like she sent around the selections beforehand.
Yeah.
Umberto could have known.
yeah. And like every time we like read a poem, he'd be like, didn't love that one.
But of course, this is all happening in the
chat.
God forbid he come on camera.
No
he
one
doesn't.
has seen his face or heard his voice
Until
finally she's like, we're doing the dance of like, will someone read this poem? And finally, Umberto, who the whole time is like, my mic isn't working. I'm trying to get my mic to connect. I'm working on it. Like, telling us a fucking... lying. And then he's finally like, my mic works. I'll read the poem. And it just happens to be the longest poem that was provided. It was like 6 pages.
not exaggerating,
crazy.
it is like 8.
Yeah, it's like 8 pages. So he comes off mute. It comes off mute and starts delivering. Like, can you do Umberto reading the poem?
The grass was. Wait, God, I've already made a mistake. The grass was dewy in the morning. The morning rain had left it so. As the birds ever.
He would never stumble.
Ah!
This guy had like a perfect cadence, made no mistakes.
He was AI.
We believe he was AI. We believe Umberto was an AI plant.
I've spent a lot of time with AI voices. Umberto has one.
We're pretty sure. And then like, we're like 5 pages in and I'm like, this guy hasn't made we're texting the whole time, I remember. And I'm like, Umberto hasn't made a mistake yet. And this is a really long poem.
Really long.
There's no way he's real.
And he's not a poem guy.
No, he hates poems. And then as if on cue, he's like, the tree.
But
and
even
I'm
the
like,
mistake was robotic.
it was robotic in nature.
Yes.
We're on to you, Umberto.
Yeah. And then we wondered, did the instructor plant Umberto?
to create a common enemy among all of us and build community.
And to finally have a volunteer to speak.
Of course, he volunteered for the longest poem when she's tired of reading at the end of class.
Lazy to use your AI enemy, Umberto. And he responded to the email thread afterwards.
Did he?
Too.
I didn't
She
even
ended
know.
the very awkward 2 hours.
It was an hour and a half, I think 90 minutes. Yeah. Molly eventually just sent a message that was like, gotta run.
Hard stop at 9:30. Thanks.
Loved this girl. And then I'm like alone in there, so I'm like, same. And I leave.
I also had locked and loaded the entire session. I had typed, Claire, what do you think?
Because I'll be honest, I don't think I even put anything in the chat. I think I at one point was like, same. Nice.
Yeah.
Liked that one.
You couldn't be ours.
I could not.
You weren't giving her anything.
No, which was kind of evil of me, but
I did. We had fun with some of the exercises, the prompts.
we did. I wrote, I also will say, like, I was kind of taking them, well, there was one that was like, write a poem to a beverage you'd like to have. And mine wasn't so much a poem as it was a tweet. Mine was like, I'd like to get a margarita with you. Oh,
it was to Miami.
Yeah, it was write a poem to a city you'd like
Yeah.
to get a drink with.
Yes.
Sorry. And mine was more like a tweet. I said, I'd like to get a margarita with you, Miami.
Yours is more like a Mad Lib.
Yeah, totally. I was treating it like Mad Libs.
What's your city? Miami. What's your drink? Margarita.
And I also, then one was like, and then after I did that, it was like you could either do that or write it to someone or something, a lover.
You wrote to a lover.
And then I wrote to a lover.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah. But that was like sad.
Well, that's like so much of poetry is.
Yeah, exactly. But that's when I felt most like keyed into the class, was when I was like going sad mode.
Yeah.
I
misgendered an author when I had the audacity to come on camera and make a comment once.
She came on once and she was like, "Hey, sorry."
I turned my camera on and I went, "I'm so sorry, we're being so weird."
And then you misgendered the
and then I misgendered the poet.
Yeah.
Who was a gay man, and I thought it was the perspective of a woman.
Yeah, which is,
And the name was Alex.
Alex. And how dare you presume a woman might be a writer?
Totally.
You were actually just being a feminist, which is fine.
Totally, that's true,
Yeah.
actually, I think.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so we didn't really pick up with any of the poems we wrote.
No, but I will say I think it was, and again, I was kind of hoping, I guess the takeaway from this class for me was like I was kind of actually hoping we'd write about sex.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot about like writing about like, we didn't do anything about like writing about sex. It was more writing about like love and like desire, but not.
Yeah.
Because I think that's going to be a challenge for me in writing the book.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to get into like the...
We can find another Zoom class.
I want like writing the mechanics of sex.
With Umberto.
With Umberto.
For me, it actually was productive, though I agree with you. I thought it was going to be about writing sex.
Yeah.
It was the exact opposite.
It was like writing about...
Sex is good and sex is smoke. And sex...
It was like writing about the idea of sex.
Yeah. I know you have now alluded to me being a bit of a poetry head.
Yeah.
I feel that it's a format that gives you access to certain emotional truths.
Yeah.
And like, I like that the form isn't precious.
I think I struggle with how unprecious it is because I'm like, there should be some rules. Or I feel like there's rules I don't know and no one ever taught me. So I feel excluded from poetry.
I think poetry is jazz.
Okay.
And so the rules are like...
There's like 4 notes you're allowed to play.
Or just like feel something and then put it up, lay it on the line.
See, and then I feel like, do I not feel enough?
No, of course you do.
Or because I read your poems sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, she's like communicating on another level
Shut
that
the fuck
can't
up.
even, my heart doesn't know these words.
So no. But I liked returning to poetry. I don't think I would have otherwise.
Yeah.
As a way for me to re-explore some of the themes or feelings that I might want to bring into the novel.
I like that idea of, and maybe that's an exercise. We always do this. Maybe this is an exercise we do. But I do like that as like a way to unlock someone's heart.
Someone's heart.
Like a character's heart.
Yeah, yeah. Or even my own.
Because I was using it as therapy. So there's a there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy. But this, and if we had recorded the podcast this week, this might have been my most romantic. I love how this podcast has like taken us on so many strange journeys.
Totally.
Like this Zoom class with Umberto.
And I did laugh harder than I've laughed in so long.
It reminded me of when we like lived together in college and we'd be like, the time we like texted each other in bed for like 4 hours.
Our beds were 3 feet from each other.
We were just like ripping jokes on the text chain. And
Multimedia jokes.
Multimedia jokes.
Yeah.
And it was making me laugh really hard.
Well, you just kind of talking about romance. What's the most romantic thing that's happened to you this very week?
Okay. Mine is, so I flew back from San Francisco on Friday night, and I was so tired from my travels.
Totally.
But I rolled right into Saturday day. My mom turned 65 this week.
Because she's a St. Patrick's girl.
She's St. Patrick's Day baby. And my aunts, my mom is one of 8, and she's got 4 sisters, and they all live in the greater tri-state area. So they hosted like a birthday brunch on the Upper East Side, which is like, my mom is very fond of the Upper East Side because she went to college up here and she worked at the Met. The Met is like her favorite place ever. So it's, yeah. Anyway, my Aunt Mary, love her, asked us all to go around. She said, this is a birthday. This is a layered romantic one. But she was like, this is something we do in my house for birthdays, which is just like crazy that we're family and I don't know that, you know?
Sure.
But like, but the romantic part of that is that like each family unit has their own. Yeah.
That is sweet.
And she was like, we do like either a memory of this person or a wish you have for their year.
Sweet.
And most people did memories, which I just found very, like, I don't know. It was romantic to me. First of all, my mom is the third of 8. So her older sister was there, and then the rest were younger sisters. And it was just romantic to me to hear them recount memories of her as a child.
Yeah.
This person who is now, like, and I think I didn't realize, this is again layered, how big of a birthday 65 is, because it's the retirement age.
Right.
And, like, I forget because we'll never retire.
Totally.
That the retirement age is significant to people of my mom's generation. So it was like a big birthday. And it was just cute to hear them recount memories of her from when she was a kid. Because that's another thing, you don't think of your mom as a kid very often.
Totally.
And one of them was like, my Aunt Claire's was that my mom used to give up cursing every year for Lent, which I'm just like,
She
my
curses?
mom? Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I know it's a silly thing to say, but she really doesn't curse that much.
Yeah.
So like she must have kicked it during one Lent. I don't know. But like my aunt said that she used to call them knee slappers instead of like curse words or something like that. And then my other aunt, my Aunt Jane, shared a room with her all of their childhood. And she was like, or I forget, maybe this was my Aunt Mary's, but she used to wake up at 2 p.m. like every weekend day, and I'm the same way. So it's just cute to hear that. Like I'm also
really
would sleep
cute.
till 2 p.m. every day if I could.
Yeah.
And I know that my mom and I have that similarity. And then there was another one that was cute. I can't remember, but yeah. Oh, there was one that my Aunt Mary's was just like, I remember seeing her on the blocks at swim team and doing a really beautiful dive and hoping that one day I'll do a beautiful dive. That one was kind of fun.
That's such a cute older sister thing. Though.
I know. It's like you don't think of your mom as an older sister, and it's like she's an older sister to many, actually.
Yeah. Modeling graceful dives.
I know.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah,
That's
it was
really
sweet.
Really?
Mine was that she used to. Mine was like a general memory. I wish I couldn't in the moment think of like a specific one, which was kind of annoying to me. But like she used to work at the Philadelphia Museum of Art when I was like 4. And she used to bring me to work with her all the time. And it's like we had like really special time together.
Baby and mommy.
Yeah. Mommy's favorite. Mommy's favorite girl.
Important qualifier.
An important qualifier. Okay, do you have yours?
That's fucking great. No, I was so enwrapped in yours. So
I've like,
all right.
just wasn't even sure that one was gonna play, and it did.
It was actually gorgeous, you freak. All right, ask me.
What's the most romantic thing that happened to you this week?
Well, I have already kind of suggested that this occurred.
Okay.
That I had to go to London for a week of work.
What? We're doing this all. You went to London? Sorry, my hair got stuck in my chair.
But I'd already been gone because I was in Florida before.
Groundhog Day. We went to spring training. I have a dollhouse.
Okay.
My Zepbound story is okay. Sorry, go ahead.
My Zepbound story is I got bonked. A true
And I
Barrymore
speak Italian.
And I've forgotten everything that transpired before. No, so I had to be away from the dog for like 10 days. And I was kind of like, oh God, it's such a haul, whatever.
Yeah.
And Mittens was like, I'll just come meet you.
Yeah.
Which is not an easy weekend trip.
No, it's not. I actually think it's so romantic.
It is.
If that's what, are we giving Mittens his flowers?
We're giving Mittens flowers for once.
And men never get flowers.
Never,
I hear.
yeah, which is disappointing, I'm sure. He flew 6.5 hours there, 8.5 hours home.
That's very romantic.
And it wasn't without, trials. Like our flight got canceled on the way home. He got pretty sick by the end of it. But all the while, and by the end, I was kind of saying like, God, thank you so much for coming. Like, I'm sorry there have been forks in the road.
Sure.
All the while, he was like, I'm so glad I did. It was so fun. It's lovely.
Darling.
Like, he's just easy and wonderful about it. And it was a pretty substantial effort to just come meet me for a weekend.
Just you. Just his whole world. Just his whole heart and soul.
Right, yeah.
No, that's really sweet.
And I had a lot of fun in London with him, and it felt like...
Did you take the Concorde?
What is that?
Is that a thing anymore?
No.
Okay. Is that pre 9/11?
It might be pre-millennium.
It definitely is. It's in the Parent Trap when they remember they go, we took the Concorde.
You know what that is,
Gets you
right?
there in half the time. No, it's like a flight.
Supersonic jet.
Oh, okay.
Wait, that used to be an option and now it's
Yeah.
not?
In the Parent Trap, they go, oh yeah, how'd you get here so fast? We took the Concorde. Gets you here in
Why-
half the time.
Why can't we do that
They're
anymore?
bringing it back, but we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna find out off camera what the Concorde really is. We're gonna do an investigation into the Concorde.
That's why
Did
we're
not-
being held here. We're going to know the secrets, but we can't leave.
Did the Concorde do 9/11? Find out next week. Okay,
All right,
bye.
bye.